Welcome back, folks, for a new episode of Leaked. Now, I'm not feeling that well since I caught a cold or something, so today's video is going to be a little bit short. But it is going to be interesting since the M56 Scorpion got shifted from a tier 8 to a tier 7. And what that means is that this TD underperforms at tier 8, suddenly becomes awesome-tacular at tier 7. And I think that this tank might be so OP, it will replace the E25 or just become the next E25. So that's pretty good of a tank destroyer. Now, I did do a leak video about the M56 Scorpion like 4 months back. So click on the link below to watch that old video. But this video contains the newer updated stats as well as the buff to this tank destroyer, which is pretty crazy. So here are the stats. And now the Scorpion will be a premium tier 7 American tank destroyer. So that's going to cost you around 6,700 gold. It has 820 hit points, which is average. It weighs about 7 tons, so don't go ramming into other stuff. It has 200 horsepower of an engine and gives 28 horsepower per ton ratio. So that's pretty good. Pretty amazing, actually. Top speed is 45 kilometers per hour. Reverse is 12, so it's pretty nimble. Terrain resistance is 1 for hard, 1.25 for medium, and 1.7 for soft, so this thing doesn't get bogged down. Hull traverse got buffed to 40 degrees per second, so you can easily outmaneuver slow turrets like the KV-3 or the Tiger 1. View range got nerfed to 380 meters, which is alright, still decent in comparison to the likes of 350 on the SU-122-44. So quite alright. Has 500 meters of radio range, which is mediocre. 1 millimeter of armor all the way around, so you have no armor whatsoever. And if high explosive lands like 5 meters away from you, it will still hurt, so don't get hit by anything. It carries a 90 millimeter gun, which has 219 millimeters of penetration. Now, this is mediocre at tier 8 because most guns have 250, but at tier 7, that's actually pretty goddamn good, phenomenal, because average of tier 7 tank destroyer guns has about 180, so that's actually pretty goddamn good. Damage is 240, DPM is about 1900, reloads every 7.5 seconds, and fires about 8 rounds per minute. So Hellcat at tier 7. Accuracy got nerfed to 0.32, which is still decent, fairly accurate of a gun, but it is not laser-like accuracy of 0.28. That's Waffenträger E100 kind of accuracy, but alright. Aim time got buffed to 1.9 seconds, which is great. Gun depression is the same, minus 10 degrees, so pretty OP. And gun traverse angle is 60 degrees, which is 30 degrees to each side. So you have a wide angle of gun arc. You can point this gun around. So it's almost like a pseudo turret, like the FV215B183. So like a pseudo turret. That's pretty decent. And here are some quick analysis with the M56 Scorpion. As you can see, the size of this tank destroyer is pretty small, but if you compare it to the E25, it's pretty much the same size. That is crazy. So the height and the length is pretty much the same, just a little bit taller because of the gun, but that's still not much. Now let's look top to bottom and see the E25 is a little bit fatter on the sides because the track's a little bit thicker, I think, but yeah, that is crazy. The Scorpion is actually a little bit smaller on the sides than the E25. And what that means is that I think the Scorpion will have the same, if not better, camera rating than the E25. So here is another invisible tank for you to rage at. That is phenomenally good. Now, there are a few trollish spots on this tank destroyer, which if you shoot at, will deal 0 damage. And what I mean is that if you shoot the Scorpion from the front, you can actually hit the driver viewport, this little window right here, and deal 0 damage to this tank destroyer and just troll you. So that's pretty funny. You can also shoot underneath the gun shield, which deals 0 damage. So so thread the needle on this tank destroyer, it deals 0 damage. That's pretty funny. Also turn on the collision model, and you can see that the toolbox does nothing. So the toolbox is not a hit spot or hit zone. So you actually shoot through the toolbox and deal 0 damage. So shoot through right here, 0 damage. Shoot through underneath the gun, 0 damage. Turn off the collision model. You see the toolbox will troll you. So that's pretty funny. Alright. But final analysis about the M56 Scorpion is that this might be one of the best premium tanks in the game because it has 219 millimeters of penetration. Alright? That is phenomenal. If you look at the E25 and compare the average of tier 7 tank destroyers, we can see that average about tier 7, hold on, when you compare tier 7 TDs, the average penetration of tier 7 tank destroyers is 118 millimeters, or 180, I'm sorry. But on the Scorpion, that's 219 millimeters. That's actually phenomenal. Alright, damage is a little bit low, 240 to 280, but DPM is still pretty good for tier 7s, 2000. So it's like a Hellcat at tier 7, which is still alright. But what is amazing about the Scorpion is that it has amazing gun handling. And what I mean is that the gun on the Scorpion is amazing. So you have a pseudo-like turret, like the FV215B1A3. So you can turn this gun pretty much about 60 degrees in the front of this tank. So very wide gun arc. And with this gun arc, you can actually have your binoculars and camouflage net up without turning the hull that much. So that's pretty great. Also note that the tank has great gun elevation, about 20 degrees, and gun depression about 10 degrees. So that's pretty amazing. Also, this tank has very good mobility, very good power to weight ratio, very good terrain resistance, and traverse, 40 degrees traverse. So what's not to like, alright? But I think this might be one of the best premium tanks at tier 7 because it has the view range, 380 meters, alright? It has the penetrating guns, it has the damage, it has the camouflage rating, it has the mobility. The only weak spot on this tank destroyer is the 1mm of armor all the way around. But the tank is so small, so you have to hit it. It's not a big target. So high explosive might work, but the goal of playing a tank destroyer at low tier is to remain hidden until you shoot. And after you shoot, and if you're spotted, you run away. So you play guerrilla tactics. And with this tank destroyer, I think this might be one of the best tier 7 premiums you could get, like the E25. So I can see why Wargaming wants to remove the E25 from the gift shop and introduce the Scorpion. It's pretty much the same tank, just with a little bit less DPM, but it will still rage a lot of people because it's an invisible tank. Its camo rating is off the charts. It has a turret, pseudo turret, that has 10 degrees of gun depression, so it can actually shoot down from hills. So that is nuts. That is crazy. But thank you guys for watching this video, and hope you guys enjoyed it. So leave a comment below on what you think about the Scorpion now that it's tier 7 instead of tier 8. So back at tier 8, this tank destroyer is mediocre because the penetration is not that good. But at tier 7, it's amazing. So yeah, I'm definitely buying this one if it's coming out to the gift shop. Now if it's a reward for campaign or clan wars, I'll be a little bit disappointed because I kind of just get it immediately. But if it's available in the gift shop, I highly recommend you get this tank destroyer over the likes of AT-15 because AT-15 just fat and dumb, in my opinion. But everybody has their own opinions, right? So yeah, but stats wise, the Scorpion looks overpowered, really overpowered, like an invisible tank. You can just drive around and just shoot people and just run away. Invisible tanks piss people off, so that's fairly decent. But thank you guys for watching this video. Subscribe to my channel for more water tank stuff. I have a cold and my head is swirly, so I might sound different, but whatever. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.